Hey y'all, it's Lachi, she, her, Black Girl Cornrows. I am here at Amazon Music Studios on set for Mad Different. We just finished recording That Kind of Black. Such a great tune about blackness, about heritage, about so many things. I'm really excited for the artist feature that I had on this song. Frank Nitty, actually my brother.
Hello world, I'm Frank Nitty. I'm a black man with dreads. I came here to accompany my sister on this track, and we're gonna get right into it.
So this whole project is called Mad Different, and it's about self-expression. It is about being who you are and telling your honest truth. When you hear the phrase Mad Different, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
It makes us think of like how we grew up, right? Like we're African, but we were born here and raised here. Mm-hmm. So it's like we don't fully fit in with the Africans, we don't fully fit in with the Black Americans. We're kind of like in our own little different space.
Sure. We're sort of second generation African, I guess first generation American. We don't really fit in with African, but we don't really fit in with Black Americans. I also feel like I have like a bunch of sisters and then two brothers, and I'm one of the sort of the guys in the family, so I'm a girl, but I'm like a tomboy. I'm also Black, but I feel like I was kind of raised white, you know what I mean? So I just feel like I'm so many different in-betweens, and That Kind of Black essentially is our journey as Black people. Why don't you tell me what actually inspired your verse?
So when you look at my first line, like I wasn't the poster child, never had the dopest style, didn't know I was supposed to smile. Like I never felt like I was the person that was getting any attention or I would fit in and stuff like that. I always felt like kind of like an outsider, didn't really know where to be. Nervous everywhere I go.
Sure.
And I just try to start learning to just be comfortable in being different and stop trying to fit into all these quotas you have to meet. And if you're Black, you have to do this a certain way or dress this way or whatever. So I guess that's what kind of motivated my verse, because I do feel different. I'm not that Black kid. I don't want to be looked at as that Black kid, you know?
Right. I totally relate. It's kind of why I thought it would be a really great idea for us to do this song together. I mean, I feel like when people who aren't Black think of Blackness, there are certain, cultural stereotypes that people automatically assume. Similar to you, I've always felt like different, like a bit of an outcast. I always felt like I wasn't Black enough for the Black kids, especially as like descendants of African parents. Both of our parents are chiefs from Nigeria. And, they really sheltered us from that lifestyle when they came here to America. They were always like, make sure this, do this, get that American dream, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, no matter how much or well or whatever you navigate, you are still in the skin you are, and those stereotypes are still applied to you. And so that's kind of where That Kind of Black came for me. And something somebody has said to me in listening to it, they were like, I love how the verses differ between a Black woman experience and a Black man's experience. So my question to you is, if you had the opportunity to dismantle a stereotype that folks put on the Black man, what would be one of your main ones?
Probably like education. The stereotype, you'll see a Black man and expect that he didn't go to school, he didn't finish high school or stuff like that. And I think we need to cancel that, because I have 2 master's degrees. Mm-hmm. You, master's degree. Most people in our family have a whole bunch of degrees, and a lot of people in our demographic go to school and, get educated and stuff like that. So that's one I would like to, cancel. There's a whole bunch more, but that's one I'll get into.
Yeah, it's funny because it turns out Black women have the highest ratio of getting a master's in America. Another thing that I wanted to point out too was hair. A lot of people have like the stereotype of the Black hairstyle, like, oh, they might be a thug, they might be a this and a that. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is like the cleanest little do. When did I get this done? I got this done like 2 days ago. This is the cleanest do. The last thing I guess I'll say is, this is corny, but this is one of Franklin's first times working with me. How was it working with your sister? And there are wrong answers.
There's wrong. No, it was good. Everything went smooth. Everybody that worked and helped make what happened today happen. Everybody was pretty professional. Going back over the track with you, sitting there in the lights, doing this interview. Everything is just, it feels good, and it also gives me an insider on what you do daily. Because I'm not always here with you to see what you got going on.
No one actually knows what I do in my family. My dad still thinks I'm going to med school.
Exactly. So it gives me a deep dive really into your career, and I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this song. I hope y'all learned a little bit of something. And we are wrapped on all 4 of these videos. Thank you so much for sticking with us through this mad different journey. I hope that you were able to get a little something from it, able to jump in, dive in, and express yourself radically and with joy. The deepest part of yourself, society is not trying to have you say nothing about. Stay different.